the distant sounds of my father's 65th birthday celebration. I sat on a folding chair, surrounded by stacked chairs and extra tablecloths, while my sister Victoria's carefully orchestrated party played out in the grand ballroom. "Dinner will be served soon, Emma," Victoria announced from the doorway, her Dior gown a stark contrast to the utilitarian space. "Try not to make noise back here. The important guests might hear you." I smoothed down my simple black dress, a one-of-a-kind piece from a designer even Victoria couldn't access. "Of course, Victoria. We wouldn't want to disturb your perfect party. The servants' quarters suit you," she smirked, glancing around the storage room. "Though I suppose it's better than your usual, what do you call it? Your office?" My phone buzzed silently. A message from Marcus, my chief operations officer. "Sterling Industries acquisition of Global Tech complete. $8.2 billion deal finalized. Waiting for your signature on final documents." I smiled, thinking about the office Victoria mocked, the entire top floor of Sterling Tower, with a view that made this hotel look like a budget motel. But here I sat, playing the role of failing daughter while my sister orchestrated what she thought was the social event of the season. "Victoria," my mother's voice carried from the hallway. "The Richardsons are asking about Emma." I told them she's indisposed. "Good save, Mother," Victoria replied. "We can't have people knowing she's actually here. It would ruin the whole atmosphere." The atmosphere had cost a fortune: crystal chandeliers, premium champagne, and enough flowers to fill a botanical garden. What they didn't know was that I owned the hotel through one of Sterling Industries' subsidiaries. Every penny they'd spent on this extravagant display had ultimately gone into my company's accounts. My father's voice boomed from the ballroom. "My daughter Victoria has made the Morgan name proud. She understands real business, real success." Real success. I checked my latest net worth update. $12.4 billion as of this morning. Victoria's entire year's salary as a bank VP wouldn't cover my daily investment returns. "Still playing with your little tech startup?" Victoria's husband Brad appeared, champagne in hand. "You know, my bank is always looking for entry-level positions. Something more stable." I thought about the meeting I'd had with Brad's bank CEO last week, where they'd begged for a chance to handle Sterling Industries accounts. "Thanks, Brad. I'll keep that in mind." "Emma," my mother reappeared, "please try to stay quiet. Victoria has the governor sitting near this wall, and we can't have any disturbances." The governor, who'd called me 3 times this week about state technology contracts. If they only knew that their embarrassing daughter was the mysterious CEO their social circle desperately tried to meet. My phone buzzed again. "Marcus, legal team standing by. Global Tech board ready for final signatures. Also, your father's company just tried to bid on the Richardson contract." The Richardson contract, a $500 million technology infrastructure project that my father's company thought they had locked down. They didn't know that Sterling Industries had already won it, or that their failing daughter would be announcing it next week. "Look at her," I heard Victoria tell our mother outside. "Sitting in storage while we celebrate. Maybe this will finally make her understand that tech dreams don't equal real success." Real success. Like the artificial intelligence platforms Sterling had developed, or the quantum computing patents that had revolutionized the industry. But here I sat, surrounded by spare chairs, playing the role they'd assigned me. "Emma," my father's voice carried through the wall. "If you're going to hide back there, at least make yourself useful. The hotel needs more champagne brought up." Victoria stuck her head in again. "You heard Daddy. At least you can manage carrying boxes, right?" I stood up, checking my watch, a subtle Patek Philippe that cost more than Victoria's car. "Of course, sister dear. Anything to help your perfect party." As I moved toward the service elevator, my phone lit up with another message. This one made me pause. "Urgent. Global Tech merger requires CEO signature immediately. Legal team en route to your location." I smiled, thinking about the chaos that was about to unfold. Sometimes the best revenge isn't just success. It's success they never saw coming. The service elevator hummed as I made my way back up with cases of champagne that I technically owned. Through my earpiece, Marcus was updating me on the Global Tech situation. "Legal team is 5 minutes out, Miss Sterling. The merger documents require immediate attention. The Asian markets open in 3 hours." Victoria was waiting when the elevator doors opened, her perfect features arranged in a practiced look of disdain. Finally, the governor was asking where his champagne was. Though I suppose this is the kind of work you're used to. If she only knew that I'd declined a dinner invitation from the governor last week because I was too busy acquiring global tech. Her precious banking connections would seem rather insignificant compared to my reality. Miss Sterling, Marcus's voice came through again. Your father's company just lost the Richardson bid. They're not taking it well. Through the storage room's door I could hear my father's booming voice. What do you mean we lost the contract? To whom? Sterling Industries? Who the hell runs that company anyway? The irony was delicious. 4 years, my father had tried to meet Sterling Industries' mysterious CEO, never knowing she was the daughter he'd banished to storage rooms and service elevators. Emma, my mother hissed, appearing suddenly. Stop dawdling with that phone. Victoria needs those bottles distributed properly. This isn't one of your little tech meetings. My little tech meetings had revolutionized 3 industries this year alone. Sterling Industries' market cap had just hit $50 billion, while my father's company was struggling to maintain its modest position. Brad says your startup is looking for investors, Victoria smirked, adjusting her diamond necklace, a pale imitation of the collection sitting in my private vault. Maybe if you're nice he'll throw some spare change your way. My phone buzzed. A message from our PR team, global tech merger news ready to break. Your identity as Sterling Industries CEO will be revealed simultaneously. All major networks standing by. Miss Sterling, Marcus interrupted. Legal team has arrived at the hotel. They're heading to the service entrance as instructed. I checked my watch again. Perfect timing. Through the ballroom doors I could see my father holding court, probably bragging about Victoria's latest achievements, while dismissing my existence. The servants' quarters suit you, Victoria repeated, watching me arrange champagne bottles. Though I suppose someone has to do the real work while the successful people celebrate. Successful people. I thought about the meeting I'd had yesterday with world leaders about Sterling's new clean energy technology. About the contracts worth billions that bore my signature. About the empire I'd built while they thought I was finding myself. Emma, my father's voice boomed. Where's that champagne? The governor is waiting. Coming, father, I called back, but before I could move the storage room door burst open. Thomas Wright, our chief legal counsel, rushed in, followed by a team of lawyers and executives. Miss Sterling. Thank God we found you. The global tech merger. We need your signature immediately. The silence that followed was absolute. Victoria's champagne glass slipped from her perfectly manicured fingers, shattering against the floor. Sterling, she whispered. Thomas continued, oblivious to the family drama unfolding. The Asian markets open soon, and the $8.2 billion merger needs to be finalized. As CEO of Sterling Industries, your signature is required immediately. $8 billion. My mother choked out. I stood up slowly, smoothing down my designer dress. Of course, Thomas. The merger documents. The legal team spread the papers across a folding table, right next to the spare tablecloths and chair covers. Through the open door, I could see my father frozen in mid-conversation, his face draining of color as he processed what he was hearing. You're the CEO of Sterling Industries? Victoria's voice had risen several octaves. The Sterling Industries that just won the Richardson contract? I picked up the Mont Blanc pen Thomas offered, a gift from the Japanese Prime Minister after our last technology partnership. The very same. Though I suppose this storage room isn't really the proper place for an $8.2 billion merger signing. Shall we move this to my hotel's presidential suite? Your hotel? My mother stammered. Oh, didn't Victoria tell you? I own the Four Seasons, along with most of the properties in this city, including, I believe, the building where your bank is headquartered, Brad. The sound of running feet announced my father's arrival. He stood in the doorway, face ashen, as I signed the final document that would make Sterling Industries the largest technology company in the world. There, I said, signing the final page with a flourish. Thomas, please ensure these reach Hong Kong before the markets open. And have PR ready for the global announcement. The legal team hurried out, leaving me alone with my shell-shocked family in the storage room that had suddenly become the most interesting place in the hotel. Through the open door I could see curious party guests gathering, drawn by the commotion. All this time, my father's voice cracked. While we thought you were struggling with some small startup, I built an empire, I finished for him. Sterling Industries. 12 subsidiaries. Operations in 43 countries. Current market capitalization. I checked my phone, just hit $52 billion after the global tech merger. Victoria had collapsed into a folding chair, her perfect composure shattered. But you take the bus to work. You live in that tiny apartment. The bus company? I own it. Testing our new autonomous transportation systems. I smiled. And that tiny apartment is the entire top floor of Sterling Tower. The building your bank tried to lease space in last month. My mother stepped forward, switching to her social damage control voice. Darling, why didn't you tell us? We're family. We could have. Could have what, mother? Supported me? Like when you banned me from family dinners because my failure might embarrass Victoria? Or when you made me use service entrances at family events? Miss Sterling, Marcus's voice came through my earpiece. Global tech announcement is live. All major networks breaking the story. Also, your father's company's stock just dropped 30% on news of the lost contracts. The ballroom screens flickered to life, displaying breaking news headlines. Sterling Industries acquires global tech in $8.2 billion deal. Mysterioso revealed. Emma Sterling emerges as tech's most powerful leader. Sterling Industries' net worth soars to $15.4 billion. My God, Brad whispered, frantically checking his phone. The Sterling account. My bank has been trying to get that for years. Yes, about that. I turned to him. Your pitch last month? Rejected. Though I particularly enjoyed your comment about my little tech hobby during the presentation. Victoria found her voice, though it trembled. The Richardson contract. Daddy's company. Lost it to Sterling Industries, yes. I adjusted my simple black dress, which suddenly everyone in the room recognized as a one-of-a-kind piece. Along with the next 5 major contracts they were bidding on. Emma, my father stepped forward, his banker's instincts kicking in. Surely we can work together now. The family name. The family name? I laughed. The one you said I was embarrassing? The one that couldn't be associated with tech dreams. I gestured to the screens showing Sterling Industries stock soaring. I built my own name, father. One that's worth considerably more than yours now. My phone buzzed again. Governor asking for an urgent meeting, Marcus reported. Also, the Asian markets are responding to the merger. Your net worth just increased by another $1 billion. Speaking of names, I continued, you might want to update the party's seating chart. It seems the governor would prefer to sit with the CEO of Sterling Industries rather than in Victoria's carefully arranged social hierarchy. Victoria flinched. The seating took weeks to plan. Yes, well, things change. I smiled. Like your husband's bank? It's now owned by one of my subsidiaries. That promotion you were bragging about earlier, Brad? I'm afraid that position no longer exists. The storage room had become strangely crowded as party guests pressed forward, trying to get a glimpse of the daughter they'd dismissed transformed into one of the world's most powerful CEOs. Miss Sterling, Sarah, my personal assistant, appeared. Your helicopter is ready on the roof. The Global Tech Board is waiting in Singapore. Helicopter, my mother whispered. Of course. You didn't think I actually took the bus to work, did you? Well, except when testing our technology. I gathered my things, including the Mont Blanc pen that had just signed an $8.2 billion deal next to spare tablecloths. Before I go, I paused at the door. Victoria, about the party budget? I'm afraid the hotel rates just tripled. Special CO surcharge. I winked. Bill me for the storage room, though. It's been enlightening. As I walked toward the elevator, the main one this time, I heard Victoria's faint voice. All those times we made her use the service entrance. Oh, and father? I called back. Happy birthday. Consider this my gift, a lesson in what real success looks like. The elevator doors closed on their stunned faces, and I ascended toward my waiting helicopter. Sometimes the best revenge isn't just success. It's letting them serve themselves the humble pie they never knew they were baking. Sarah, I said as we reached the roof, send them each a copy of tomorrow's Wall Street Journal. I believe the headlines storage room to boardroom, How Emma Sterling Built a $52 billion empire might make interesting reading at their next family dinner. After all, some parties are worth waiting for, especially when you own the venue. As the helicopter lifted off from the hotel's rooftop, I watched through the window as my family remained huddled in that storage room, their perfect party forgotten. Sarah handed me a tablet showing live social media reactions to the revelation. Your sister's banking colleagues are already jumping ship, she noted with a smile. And Brad's bank shares have dropped 40% since the announcement that Sterling Industries owns their major assets. Ms. Sterling, Marcus's voice came through the helicopter's communication system. Your father just tried to reach you through 5 different channels. Also, Victoria has been removed from the governor's private dinner list next week. I thought about all the times they'd hidden me away during family events, all the storage rooms and service entrances, all the dismissive comments about my little tech hobby. Now those same storage rooms would become part of business legend, the unlikely launching pad for one of the world's most powerful CEOs. One last thing, I told Sarah as Singapore's lights appeared on the horizon. Send a maintenance crew to that storage room tomorrow. Have it renovated into the Sterling Suite, the hotel's most exclusive space. After all, some rooms deserve a promotion just like some daughters. And the bill for tonight's party? Sarah asked. Send it to Victoria, I smiled. With a note, from the storage room with love. Sometimes the best revenge isn't just success, it's redecorating it.